everybody, Ice was cool here. Today we're doing alternate history part 2. So we're pretty much just starting up where we left off, where we left at this time. But I did make some border changes because the map for some reason didn't save last time. So now Ukraine Ukraine has less land than Russia, but they did get this, and Germany has at the actual correct amount of border they're supposed to have. Dominance will look the same. I also fixed the borders. Most of the borders I fixed them because instead of using 2 pixels, I use 1 like I was supposed to. So let's get on the video. So the first thing that's gonna happen is the East African Federation forms, and this is actually a real thing that could happen. So the Congo, South Sudan, wherever this is, whatever country this is, Kenya, and also I don't know why I colored in this blue part, because this blue part is water. So actually wait, no, this bottom part is water. I mean, no, the top part is water, the bottom part is not water. And also, of course I made this a custom color. What's that again? Okay, whatever. I don't know, so I'm just gonna keep it as water, I guess. So these African federations formed. Yay. And I forgot to change the Koreas. Because again, in the last part, Korea and North Korea are now one because of the Chinese Civil War, where North Korea joined in, then South Korea joined in just because they could, and they took North Korea. So now it's just the Republic of Korea, which I'm making this color. Also, India got this part because they wanted it, so they got it. Also, Tibet changed. Yay. Also, the Russian Civil War happened after the Russia-Ukraine War, which the old Russian government lost and got replaced by the Kingdom of Siberia and the Republic of Russia. Oh yeah, the United States of Southern America exists, which technically exists because this is alternate history. Pretty much just the British decided to split the 13 colonies into 2 pieces, North and South, and that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna explain the rest. Y'all can figure it out on your own. Yeah. Also, the Central Powers was formed again. Yay. Now let's go into Africa. The Moroccan Western Sahara were war, because pretty much just gone broken out. Western Sahara. Oh wait, let's show you this where I need we can actually border first. So the beef between Western Sahara and Morocco pretty much reached the boiling point. So now they're at war, and unfortunately Morocco kind of wins this actually. And on the side of the Western Sahara is Algeria, because they don't like Morocco. And I made them the wrong shade of blue. Morocco doesn't really have any allies, and if they do, I just forgot. And if they do, I forgot they existed. So wartime. So the first thing that happens is yeah, they kind of like take a lot of Western Sahara's land. Like this this whole northern part is not Western Sahara. It's not Moroccan. But now because Algeria is in the war, where Algeria fights back and pushes Morocco up here near yay yay. And the Western Sahara is able to take back some other land. Only some of it though. Oh yeah. Also, Spain just decides to they decide to support Western Sahara in a deal that if they do win, they pretty much just get they can have Morocco as a puppet. They can have Morocco as a colony because why not? So they send troops down. Actually, no. Algeria sends troops to Spain down into Morocco. Also, Spain may or may not have shipped some Algerian troops to Morocco. Yeah, because of Spain's help in the war, Morocco was forced to pull their troops back because the original plan was just to take out the Western Sahara first, and if achieving that, that would make Algeria lose faith in the war, and also sign a peace treaty, giving them even more land because they wanted to get like all this from Algeria if they won, but they're probably not going to win now. And the Western Sahara pretty much just keeps pushing until they're able to take back all of the land and push into a little bit of Morocco. And at this point, Spain just decides, and why not? And they join the war as well, which now brings the Spanish army to the war. And now with that, Morocco's kind of just cooked. Considering that most army still down here is retreating from the Western Sahara border, so they could protect their capital, which was either already taken or is up here somewhere. I don't know where Morocco's capital is, but it's too late because by the time they get there, yeah, this person again taken. But Morocco still doesn't surrender for some reason. They take back some of the land, but then this happens, and the other army is still here, so they get captured. Not many were killed, but get captured. So at this point, Morocco surrenders. So now Morocco surrenders. So now let's look at this piece. So for the first part of this deal is that one, um, Algeria will get some land out of this. So Algeria will grab this for themselves. It'd be more sea access for them. and the Western Sahara will take about this, cause this this was the Spanish Sahara, which then became Western Sahara. So they took that land back, and for the rest of it, it became a Spanish colony, Spanish Morocco. So yeah, the rest of Morocco just got annexed into Spain, which we represent as blue. Actually, no, which we represented as what color does Spain become? Um, Spain will be this color, which then in return, um, Morocco will be a slightly darker color. Yay. Morocco got jumped by 3 countries, and now there's the Republic of Spain. Spanish puppets. Cool. And these three decide, yeah, why not? Why not? They have the choice, so they decide to ally. Oh, which is pretty much just don't don't know what to call it. So anyways, had any idea for our alliance, and they put it in the comments. So pretty much just these four join an alliance because the Central Powers are here. And actually, Ukraine decides to join the Central Powers just because. Oh my god! All right, chat, I'm back. But yeah, these four are now in the line. Central Powers exist with Ukraine as a new member. Hmm. Oh yeah. Also, literally, literally for basically no reason, Britain decides to ally with France because they're scared of because they're kind of getting scared of Germany as well as France. They're both getting scared of the of Germany getting bigger, so they decide to ally. Um, also Denmark decides to join the alliance because why not? Also Greenland. This the discount discount allies. So now with this, um, yay. And now speaking of Germany, Germany decides to go to Cameroon and say, hey, we will give you monies if you become a colony. And because Cameroon's just broke for no reason, um, yeah, they accepted. As well as also Papua New Guinea also decides to accept it because why not? Also, yeah, literally just because they can. Yeah. Speaking of this, um, Italy doesn't like the fact that Austria-Hungary has grown so much, so they decided to put an end to it. Well, I tried to make it into it by declaring war. I don't, I don't know what their I don't know what their master plan was. Also, I'm not changing the line colors because I don't feel like it. I swear, I'm just gonna leave Austria-Hungary exact same. So now the second, well, not second, but the war, the Austrian-Hungarian War versus the Italians. But little did But um, little did Italy know, Austria and Hungary suspected this, so yeah, they already had a force in the border, which the Italian force couldn't break through. So yeah, they kind of get ran through. Before Austria Hungary stopped by these goofy mountains, they're like right here. They get stopped by the mountains. But just gives the tank more time to get more troops, but it doesn't really help because ding dong, the Austrians have made it past the mountains, and they decide to cut off southern Italy from northern Italy. So now it's they're in two fronts with a lot of armies with a lot of armies still being down here near Rome because they literally just got sent. Cause what? Cause yeah, and there's not a lot of army and all of them here is over here, or they got captured because they were most likely ones that got sent to the Austrian border. So because of the lack of troops on the border, yup, most of northern Italy gets captured. And by the time Italy's very, very regretting their choices of this. So they surrender. And the terms of the peace treaty is the Austria-Hungary will pretty much Austria-Hungary won't get any land. Well, actually, they'll get a little bit of land, and Italy will become a puppet. So not really the best people on the Italian side. Um, so now Italy's now a puppet of well Austria, but the Italian government didn't really like that, so they fled to their island right here. Yeah, and Austria didn't really care, so they're just there now. The Italian government in exile, and I'm just making it say colors the Kingdom of Siberia. I guess. Actually no. I should give them a different color. I don't know why I made this dark because this matches Saudi Arabia more, so I'm just gonna give it Saudi Arabia. Now the color of the Italian government exile will be a very dark green. There. So now the Italian government and also a lot of the Italian army kind of just left because yeah they are now in this island. I don't know what it's called, but they're on the island. The island. Yay. And this is what the map looks like currently. Nothing is really happening in the Americas, because why would there be? It's the Americas. Ain't nothing happening in America. They over here just chilling for real, for real. Hmm. Hmm. And then, and then, and then, and then some German ships that are coming from Cameroon decided let's explore it, and they decided no one has claimed back Antarctica yet. So who's gonna stop us from claiming like half if no one has claims on Antarctica, I'm just gonna take like yeah I'm gonna take Antarctica, which they don't. I don't know why. I don't know why they think Barker just said this. Says something over. They took, but they didn't take all of it, but they did take some of it. They did take some of it, and the part that they took is like this. Hmm. So now Germany is now in Antarctica. In the Antarctic races happened in the NOAA Antarctic race for resource work. So yeah, they take this, and literally no one cares because everyone thinks it's ice. The UN doesn't do anything about it either because they literally haven't done anything else. So why would they start now? Yeah. And now another war's happening between in, between most of the Balkan countries and Australia. So, and also this, I mean, this card right here. Greece, Albania, and Montenegro, and also Bulgaria. They all declare war on Austria. Yeah, and they also declare war on Kosovo, which is now Serbia. Because in the first part, Kosovo will declare independence, but Serbia didn't like that. So Kosovo called in the Austrian-Hungarians to help them. They did, and then they became the government. And so also in also Austria called in the Ottoman Empire to join in because they're technically allies, and they said sure, freelance. And because Bal- the new Balkan League wasn't expecting this, um, Greece and Bulgaria were getting pushed into a lot by the Ottomans, and Kosovo not being weak, were able to push into Bulgaria and North Macedonia. And also, the only reason why the Balkans declared war on Austria-Hungary um and Kosovo were because they thought they were getting too strong. So, so why not? So they declared war on them. Also Montenegro is literally so they're already fallen. So I'm gonna make them white. So let's actually so Montenegro's fallen because it's small and a lot of forces were surprised and they're in shambles trying to guard. And also Kosovo just couldn't defend they just couldn't defend against the whole width of the because they thought they were weak after the war with the Italians, which they won about a couple months. So don't really know where their whole so don't really know where their minds were at the time. Yeah. Then, but then Bulgaria pushed. They pushed Kosovo all the way to their own border, starting to push in the Kosovo. Who went back? And the parents pushing the Kosovo because the capital's like right here. But Kosovo, they do push back slightly, but they're still in the country. They can't fully push them back. But they do make North Macedonia capitulate. And back on the Ottoman front, um, Greece has kind of put most of their troops here. Most of the Greek troops are here and here. Well, like all of the Bulgarian forces are over here, and with only a couple over here. Albanians aren't being dead ass in a straight line, and some right here. Oh my god, shut up! Okay, we're back. But now because there's so little troops on the border, and also the fact that Bulgaria literally forgot to cover this, the all decided to be sneaky and and surround their forces, and then they captured it. But Bulgaria realizing that the capital's like right here, they also surrendered, giving Kosovo all its land back in the process. And with the bigger front, now the Turks can cut off Greece, which they did, and took it. And then the Balkan League realizes they're cut, so they surrender. The term. So where's the farthest back I can go? Yeah, this is good enough. So in the terms of this, so first, Kosovo annexes they annex North Macedonia, cause why not? Well, Turkey, not Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, the Federation of the Ottoman Empire, here takes pretty much all of this, turning this into a European state, turns into the Ottoman European state, while also puppeting Greece, because they kind of did a lot of the work. So they get two puppets of they get the puppet of Bulgaria and the puppet of Greece, which is also plus by their brand new state, but by their European state here. Also, it is situated that Kosovo, not Kosovo, Montenegro, and Albania both become puppets of Austria-Hungary, with Montenegro actually gaining a little bit of Albanian land, cause why not? With Montenegro being Montenegro being a light brown, and Albania being like a purple. Yeah, like this. Yay. The bulk is now full of puppet states. Yippee. This is so good. Ottoman European state. Because they think Bulgaria and Greece should be punished, but they don't want to but they don't want to have um but they don't want to have any minorities in their country. Well, not minorities, but they don't really want Greeks and Bulgarians in their main territory because of what happened the last time that happened. Yeah, they don't want to collapse again. They also, so they make a European state because why not? Also, with with the news of Germany just occupying some of Antarctica, the the Federation of the Ottoman Empire decides to get in some of the action too. Why does this always happen? Now making Ottoman Antarctica. Okay, where is the? So there should be the issue. There you go. Now the Federation of Ottoman Alaska, the states of Alaska. What Alaska? I mean Antarctica. Antarctica. South America to South America. They don't really care. Also, in the desert countries, they just decide, and why not? Let's make an alliance because why not? Saudi Arabia and these two just make the Arab alliance because I'm pretty sure they're all Arab. Come back. Yeah, the Arab League. Hmm. 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 Oh yeah, so Pakistan declares war on India because they want this land here, and India won't give it up. So they decided to declare war. And also because of their early agreement, China, pretty much all the Chinese countries decided to support India. They don't join in the war, but they will support, except for them, because they kind of wanted to keep this land, and but they didn't get to, so they just want to join. And actually, in secret, without these three knowing, they actually secretly support Pakistan with a promise to give them some of the land if they win, which they probably won't. And and within and within the war starting in Indiana, they being prepared. Pakistan launches the invasion in South India because they was India probably has most of their army up here because this is the land that Pakistan wants. So so Pakistan plays smart and in a circle and take a lot stuff down here. But 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 the, but they didn't think that because they just didn't leave that many troops on, so then you just attacks from up here, taking pretty much all of it, taking this top part too. And also, some Indian troops do arrive and they slightly push out the Pakistanians. Hmm. You know, what the fuck? But anyways, in India now, I think a lot in North Africa, North Africa. Okay, I could say that it's not North Africa. I mean, northern Pakistan, then some a lot of the Pakistan army that's in the south had to retreat up to the north, but not before they took more stuff here. Cause why not? Like just why not, bro? So they pretty much just take all this, but then they had to leave because they had to defend our northern border from the Indians. But before they run, India does take a lot of stuff down here. Boom, boom, boom. That's the wrong color, boom, boom. But now, now, now with the Pakistan troops arriving, they push in. Well, they slowly start to push out the Indians. But in the process of taking those troops out, India uses this to pretty much take back a lot to land. Take land back. Pretty much stop. Pretty much stopping most of the invasion front that's here. And they make a little push, but then get stopped by local Pakistani troops. And India decides to go for a risky move and to push down here so they can circle go along with Pakistan's army, which they somehow managed to do. Which then caused Pakistan to surrender out of the war. And so the peace deal for this is that one, Pakistan has to realize that this is not Indian territory, and on top of that, they lose a lot. They lose a lot of their own territory. Actually, they lose a lot of their own territory. But right here, and Pakistan also realized that as well. Sad day for Pakistan. with the war over, where, where the Chinese countries go back into peace with their respective sides winning, except for except for these guys, their side didn't. So they're kind of unhappy with that, and they also kind of think it's unfair because they still think they got cheated in the Chinese Civil War because they didn't get what they wanted. So they're big mad. They're mad at China. Well, they're mad at all the Chinese states. They're mad and they have they're mad and they can't really do anything about it. It's because a fight between all the Chinese states is pretty much certain death for for them. So they just have to so unfortunate so for them they just have to deal with it. Yeah. South America's just chilling as well as most of North America. Why not? Why would North America just be chilling? Chilling like medicine. Don't know who that was. Yeah. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Which will probably be a Nature History 2 video. So bye bye.